What it do, y'all? This your boy King Ed the Great coming at y'all with another video. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button for me. Now, with this video here, I'm going to probably ruffle some feathers. But see, I'm going to have to give y'all the truth on this. And what made me want to do this video. I was watching the BET Awards, and just like everybody else, I wasn't really offended, but I was more so like disgusted just based off the degeneracy and the openness of showcasing buffoonery. But let me tell y'all this. See, what made me want to do this video is what I saw what Boyce Watkins was saying. Boyce Watkins was saying, along with many other black people, they were talking about, man, we should have went ahead and listened to C.Deloris Tucker. We should have listened to Calvin Butts. No. Because let me tell y'all something. The difference between now and the difference between then. Hip-hop back then scared white America. Even though you had your records, you had your ratchet records, you still had records that bucked the machine. You had your records like Pump Your Fist, which was like a posse cut put together. Oh, man, as a war cry for the Rodney King situation. Farrakhan was being sampled on many records. You had Khalid Muhammad on albums. You still had that militant aspect of the culture. Even though you had your gang banging, those brothers still was aware of the enemy. You still had records talking about the hardships of what young black men go through in the ghetto. You still had those records that were going against the machine. You still had those records that spoke against police brutality. You still had those records out there that spoke volume for the modern black man and woman coming up. So, and plus also you had more black owners. You had more record label owners. And you also had at a time period where we weren't afraid of calling out buffoonery, and a lot of acts that you would see popping today, they didn't cut the rug. A lot of these niggas rapping would not make it in the 80s and the 90s. You still had to bring talent. So there was still a bit more balance back then in comparison to now. And see, with C.Deloris Tucker, people were looking at that like, yeah, we need to watchdog the content. That's not going to be the case, because if you look at it, she was used as a pawn to suppress the black voice. Why you think you had pro-black leaders like the late Khalid Muhammad? You had a lot of militant leaders. They was calling them out too, because they understood the language of the youth. That's why they're so respected today in comparison of a Calvin Butts or a C.Deloris Tucker. They understood how to reach the youth. Listen to that project, the One Nation project. I think it was they put it out around the time of the Million Man March. Then you had Paris. Paris was putting out projects. You had Public Enemy. They still was putting out stuff, even though they were slowly dying out. Even if you listen to the Chronic still has some militancy to it, if you really listen to that album. So even with the Nation and others, they were critical. They were critical of the direction hip hop was going to bring that balance back. But at the same time, they wasn't pushing censorship, and the music was still seen as a threat to white America. Why you think why you think the government was trying to put FBI files on certain rappers? But today is nothing like that era. CAC America are giving these dudes endorsements. They're giving them rewards now. And the difference is between then and now, even you had these guys rapping about gang banging and shooting and pimping, they still were proud of being black. These niggas today are not proud of being black at all. They don't want nothing to do or being associated with the term black, period. They'll always say some hot outtake like, look, I ain't really consider myself black. I consider myself to be this, or I'm not with that black shit. Or you even have people like academics out there talking about, I can't listen to Kendrick Lamar talking pro-black. This is what we're dealing with now. These niggas don't even see themselves as black like that. Even with Nicki Minaj sitting there, she rather see herself as Trinidadian than black. That's what we're dealing with. And they're getting bags. They're getting endorsements. They're getting pushed to the forefront. Oh, even Lil Wayne. Look how Lil Wayne is still being coasted around. And you never hear none of these dudes use black figures as a punchline. Nicki Minaj was disrespecting, what's her name? Coretta Scott King. No, that wasn't Coretta Scott King. It was Rosa Parks. My bad. It was Rosa Parks. Yeah, she disrespected Rosa Parks. Lil Wayne had a punchline talking about some beat that pussy up like Emmett Till. Then you had Tyler the Creator saying all this crazy stuff. But here's the thing. Where were the gatekeepers? The gatekeepers are considered bought. These guys are put in prized positions not because they understand the culture, but they want to manipulate the culture. That's why you think a guy like Puffy gonna sit there and co-sign this crap we seen Lil Nas X doing. The so-called gatekeepers, they play along to get along now. There's really no powerful voices to condemn the buffoonery, to condemn the promotion of degeneracy anymore because of the simple fact they're scared. They still want to hold their place in the pecking order. And they're afraid of backlash because, see, now we're living in a time with social media. Now you have people that aren't even involved in our business can chime in our business like it ain't nothing. Like, why would you have the Kardashian audience chiming in on something that Chuck D is posting? But going back to what's going on with C.Deloris Tucker, that is not the hill you want to die on, for the simple fact that if you look it up, she was exploited. She was exploiting black people in LA as a slumlord with high rent, poor conditions, which opened up gentrification. And another thing too, if you really look at this whole thing when she went on this crusade against rap, she was even a pawn in that situation because she basically wanted a label for herself. She wanted to have meetings with Jimmy Iovine and Suge, and they wanted them to fund the label for her to run so she could play watchdog to the content. But I tell you this, they don't have where was that energy that she had for Michael Freeze when she was pimping Dionne Warwick and all these other black entertainers? She ain't gonna go up on that. She ain't gonna go after that. And another thing too, and that's why we didn't even respect C.Deloris Tucker at that time, was because she wasn't even only just specifically after gangster rap. She didn't like militant rap either. So that means anything from Chuck D, anything from Paris, anything that was preaching consciousness, she ain't want nothing to do with either. So all you niggas over there talking all that, we should listen to C.Deloris Tucker. No. And plus, if y'all really want to do y'all research, she was also backed by the Bush family. She was a pawn in the right wing game to censorship, man. So y'all want to really listen to that? Oh, and not to mention, she had a lot of single black mothers filing lawsuits against her for having them living in upkept conditions in South Central. So what did that open the door to? That opened up the door for gentrification as well. There's a lot of stuff out here that you got to read on before you start following these people. And do I feel that censorship is not the answer, but we need to have accountability. Nobody wants to be accountable for nothing no more. And that's the problem with not only the music, but also black people, period. And see, it used to be a time where you used to feel shame. They don't feel shame. They figure, hey, they getting their clout, they getting their views, they getting their money. It don't matter. Why should I feel shame? It's benefiting me. So what we used to shame people with, whatever it be musically or whatever it be a hip hopper or MC and jump in and attack a whack rapper, that's not going to work no more, because if anything, they love the attention. They love the attention now, and they're benefited off the attention. If anything, look at Tekashi 69 for example. Niggas made diss record after diss record after that dude. But what it do? It elevated him. So it's the opposite domino effect. We live in a troll era where nobody cares about nothing but views, nothing but views and clout in the bag. That's all they care about. And these are the people that are placed in the forefront of the culture. And these are the people that put power positions within our music. That's a problem that we have, and we're going to have to clean that out. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Subscribe, hit the like button. Peace.